Beautiful Belize, a tropical delight. Luscious green rainforests and mountains. Pristine beaches. Crystal clear waters. Ancient Mayan ruins. Fascinating culture. Amazing aquatic sights. And exotic animals. Come along and enjoy scenery that will leave you speechless on this unspoiled planet. Belize is a small Central American country nestled on the coast next to Mexico and Guatemala. Tourism is the primary economic force here. Agricultural products like citrus are also a major source of commerce. People come to Belize to enjoy its tropical climate, the crystal clear waters, and the beautiful beaches. With a population of more than 250,000 people, about 1/3 of Belizeans live in poverty. There are many villages in remote areas with limited resources. Most of the roads are unpaved, and so are most of the airport runways. Hundreds of years ago, this is where the Mayans built their palaces and temples. Belize was at the heart of Mayan civilization. The ruins remain today, symbolic of the past. But remnants of the Mayan people, culture, and tradition still exist. The Mayans revered the jaguar as a god for its power. In many ways, the jaguar was central to their culture. They even embraced the jaguar in much of their architectural design and in their music and dance. To this day, children still perform the dance of the jaguar. Jaguars live throughout Belize in the tropical rainforests and along the coasts. Years ago, jaguars lived in North, Central, and South America, but their numbers have been reduced due to hunting and deforestation. Belize protects jaguars from hunting and still has one of the healthiest populations in Central America, about 1,000. The jaguar is the largest cat in the Western Hemisphere and the third largest cat in the world after the lion and the tiger. The jaguar gets its name from an Indian word meaning he who kills with one leap. Adult jaguars are loners. They do not live in family units or pairs. They only come together for a short time to breed. Jaguars hunt at night. They prey on a wide variety of animals, large and small, including mice, birds, tapir, and cattle. Jaguars are territorial, meaning they tend to live in a home range area. The size of the territory is usually a few square miles, but depends on the availability of food. In the Coxcomb Basin of Belize, jaguars roam over a territory of about 12 square miles. According to one Indian myth, the jaguar acquired its beautiful spotted coat by daubing mud on its body with its paws. On close inspection, the markings do resemble paw prints. Because of its yellowish coat covered with black spots and rings, the jaguar is often confused with the leopard. But a jaguar is larger, stockier, and has a broad head and shorter legs and tail. Black jaguars are also common, big, black, and beautiful. These black cats actually have spots too, black spots on their black coat. They are often incorrectly called panthers. Panthera is actually part of their scientific name. Some people believe black jaguars are bigger and more aggressive than the spotted jaguars, but there is no evidence that this is true. Jaguars are powerful animals with sharp eyes. They are very agile, able to easily maneuver through the jungle and climb trees. Despite its dominant position in relation to other animals, the spotted jaguar is considered an endangered species. Another animal found in the rainforest of Belize with a somewhat similar name is the jaguarundi, but it looks nothing like a jaguar. Some people say its long body and long tail resembles a weasel. The jaguarundi comes in 3 colors: black, brownish gray, or red. The darker colors are usually found in the rainforest. They are one of the only felines without contrasting colors on the backs of their ears. They are not very big. Adults weigh between 6 and 20 pounds. The jaguarundi stands about 10 to 14 inches tall at the shoulder and is between 35 and 55 inches long. Early Central American natives found these cats easy to tame, but they really aren't good pets. However, they are good for rodent control. Jaguarundis like to eat small rodents, rabbits, armadillos, possums, quail, wild turkey, reptiles, frogs, and fish. While their fondness for rodents may please some farmers, the jaguarundi's reputation as a nuisance for attacking chickens and turkeys irritates most poultry farmers. These cats easily adapt to different environments as long as there is food. They can be found as far north as Texas and throughout Central and South America, living in lowland areas with dense ground vegetation. Jaguarundis do not live in groups. They are solitary, but sometimes travel or forage in pairs. The biggest threat to the jaguarundi is habitat destruction and human encroachment. Up next, what other creatures are lurking in the rainforest of Belize? Find out when Unspoiled Planet continues. In the hot, humid tropical land of Belize, the scenery ranges from the gorgeous beaches along the Caribbean Sea to low mountainous regions in the south. And there are hundreds of acres of rainforest in Belize. In the rainforest, it is common to see the green iguana. They like to live high in the forest canopy in lowland areas near rivers or streams. The green iguana is a reptile found throughout Central and South America. They are so plentiful in Belize, some people call them the bamboo chicken. When fully grown, green iguanas are quite large, usually between 4 and 6 feet long, including the tail, which makes up about half the body length. The tail is sharp and is used as a defense weapon. If caught by a predator, the iguana's tail can break off to allow an escape, but grows back without permanent damage. They also have long fingers and claws to help them climb and grasp. Iguanas have rough, water-resistant skin and a set of pointy scales down the back. As you can see, green iguanas can be very friendly with people. Some people even keep them as pets. But while they can be somewhat socialized, green iguana can be very dangerous. So handle with care. Here in the rainforests of Belize, there is an ongoing debate about logging operations and the effect deforestation is having on the environment. As forests are destroyed, habitat for the green iguana and other wild animals like the black howler monkey is reduced. The black howler monkey is the largest monkey in Belize and one of the largest in the Americas. It is also the loudest animal in the forest. Hence the name howler. Their calls are so loud they can be heard 3 miles away. The male howler has an oversized throat and voice box, giving him the ability to call more loudly than any other animal. In Belize, they call this monkey a baboon. There is a strong population of these primates in the rainforest, but in most places, the howler monkey is endangered. These monkeys are highly social, living in small groups called troops. A troop consists of 4 to 8 baboons, usually 1 or 2 males, the rest females. They are vegetarians, living in lowland forests where they eat fruit, leaves, and flowers. When fully grown, they are not very big, weighing 15 pounds and standing 2 feet tall with a 30-inch tail. Their lifespan is about 20 years. Black howler monkeys are territorial. Each troop has its own territory in which it feeds and lives. The size of the territory ranges from 3 to 25 acres, depending on the size of the troop. They defend their territory from other troops by howling at them with their loud voices. Here in the dwindling Belizean rainforest the howler monkey calls home, a conservation group has set aside protected land along the Belize River for the howler. Howlers aren't the only ones monkeying around in Belize. There is also the spider monkey. They get their name from their behavior. When a spider monkey hangs upside down with all 4 limbs and its tail holding onto branches, it looks like a spider. They are black, brown, golden, red, or tan, and grow to be almost 2 feet tall, excluding the tail. This variety of monkey is a bit unusual because it doesn't have a thumb. They use their powerful tail as an extra limb. These monkeys can move swiftly through the forest, swinging from branch to branch at high speed. They like to spend most of their time high up in the canopy where they eat fruits, plants, and seeds. Unfortunately, spider monkeys are heavily hunted and are in danger of becoming extinct. Monkeys aren't the only interesting creatures in the trees of Belize. The tropical climate attracts exotic birds like the scarlet macaw. The scarlet macaw is a magnificent and colorful bird belonging to the parrot family. There are several types of macaws. Males and females are similar in appearance with bright red feathers and bits of yellow, orange, and blue on the wings. From head to tail, they are about 35 inches long and have 2 outer toes pointing backwards that grip in opposition to the 2 forward-pointing toes. They live in the high elevations of the rainforest, where they nest in holes high up in the trees. They eat fruits, nuts, flowers, and nectar, often the unripe fruit and nuts that other animals avoid. The macaws are seed predators, meaning they destroy the seeds that they eat and do not disperse them. Macaws are also in the habit of eating clay from riverbanks, supposedly to aid their digestion. Macaws are monogamous. Sometimes they express affection by licking each other's faces. They usually live in pairs and sometimes form groups to create a flock of several hundred. Typical predators of the scarlet macaw are snakes, monkeys, toucans, and other large mammals. But scarlet macaws have wide, strong wings and can fly at 35 miles per hour to escape their predators. To the Mayans, these birds were sacred, representing the daylight and the rising sun. They held ceremonies in their honor, and many lords and rulers of Mayan cities took the name macaw for themselves to magnify their personality and power. Many people like to keep these birds as household pets. The birds become very attached to their owners and are known for their ability to quickly learn and repeat a limited number of words. However, many pet owners do not anticipate the damage a scarlet macaw can do with its large beak, or the fact they can live to be 75 years old and are very loud. Unfortunately, its popularity as a pet and the loss of territory in the rainforest has endangered the existence of this brilliant bird. Another exotic bird of Belize is the keel-billed toucan. It is the national bird of Belize. Locals call it the bill bird. Its huge, colorful bill, yellow, orange, red, green, and black, is the most recognizable characteristic of the toucan. The toucan's bill is made out of keratin, the same material as our fingernails and toenails. They nest in tree cavities made by other animals in the humid forest, where they like to eat a wide variety of tropical fruits. The toucans often return to the same nest year after year. Unlike the scarlet macaw, these birds spit out the seeds, sometimes great distances from where they started eating. This gives the fruit trees a better chance of reproducing again. Toucans also like to eat insects, lizards, snakes, and even the eggs of smaller birds. The toucan, like the scarlet macaw, has 4 toes on each foot, 2 that go forward and 2 that go backwards. Keel-billed toucans are only about 20 inches long and highly social, often in groups of 6 or more. Here is another bird with an enormous bill, the jabiru stork. Standing 5 feet tall with a wingspan of 8 feet, this is one of the largest flying birds in the Western Hemisphere. In Belize, the locals call this bird Turk or filimingo. With its heavy bill, about 12 inches long, the jabiru catches fish, amphibians, reptiles, insects, and small mammals. Jabirus are silent and fly with slow, methodical wing beats as they cruise over the water looking for prey. Although the population of storks in Belize is the strongest for all of Central America, jabiru is a rare and endangered species. These big birds only stay in Belize from November to June. They nest at the top of very tall trees in the savanna. Savannas typically have extended dry and wet seasons, are fire dependent, and are home to many evolving plants, animals, and insects. Clearing and drainage for agriculture and development has put this habitat at risk, and the species that call it home are also at risk. Each year, the female jabiru lays 2 to 4 eggs. Both male and female take turns incubating the eggs. When the rainy season starts, they fly north to Mexico, sometimes ending up in Texas. Up next on Unspoiled Planet, meet the mountain cow and some unusual cats in Belize. Ecotourists looking for adventure in Belize may be surprised to find some rather unusual animals there. One is the tapir, also known as the mountain cow in Belize. They live to be 25 years old and grow to 6 feet long, weighing between 300 and 500 pounds. Because of their odd appearance, tapirs are often mistaken for pigs and anteaters, but they are actually related to the same family as horses and rhinos. There are 4 species of tapir, and they are all endangered. They are sought after for their meat and their hide. Tapirs are solitary animals that live in the forest and are most active at night. They roam large territories, using their short and flexible snout to pick fruits, leaves, and other vegetation. They are also good swimmers and like to spend time in rivers and lakes. When startled or threatened, tapirs usually run to water for refuge. At first glance, they appear to be slow, even slothful. But actually, tapirs are quite fast and agile and good climbers. Known as the tiger cat, the margay is a small nocturnal cat that spends most of its life in the trees of the tropical forests. Margays are excellent climbers, well adapted to the forest. They have big eyes and only weigh 20 pounds. When fully grown, they are 2 feet long with an 18-inch tail. If you travel to Belize, you probably won't see one of these endangered cats unless you go to the zoo. They prefer solitude in remote areas of the forest, which makes them hard to find. When hungry, the margay hunts down rats, squirrels, possums, monkeys, and birds. The actual number of margays living in Central America is unknown, but Belize seems to have one of the strongest populations. Another small cat roaming the rainforest is the ocelot. The name ocelot comes from a Mexican Aztec word meaning field tiger. This cat is endangered for its beautiful and highly prized fur. Ocelots are about twice the size of an average house cat, 3 feet long with a 15-inch tail. They weigh 35 pounds. In Belize, ocelots live in a variety of habitats, from dry scrub to the dense forests. By day, the ocelot spends its time in the trees. By night, in the cover of darkness, they hunt on the ground. They have excellent vision and hearing. With speed and agility, the ocelot hunts down fish, frogs, turtles, birds, and insects. They are solitary creatures, but sometimes hunt in teams. One of the big cats in Belize is the puma. It is the second largest cat in the Americas and is widely found across North, Central, and South America. Male pumas grow to 8 feet long and 220 pounds. Females are smaller. There are many variations of pumas. The color of its coat and length of its hair depends upon the region and the environment they live in. In Belize, the puma has a cinnamon-colored coat of short hair and may even have spots. Most of the year, except during breeding season, the puma is a solitary animal that wanders a large home range, sometimes of more than 100 square miles. Pumas are dangerous predators. Attacks on humans are rare, but do occur. Yes, Belize has an amazing variety of wildlife and still has large tracts of undisturbed rainforest. Much of the country is still undeveloped, providing excellent habitat for cats, big and small, monkeys, tapirs, exotic birds, and Mayan culture on this unspoiled planet.